It's about 2:30 in the morning, Friday. I'm making this video right before I go to bed because as of 2 days ago, I was able to successfully organize and plan a candidacy exam with my advisor and the other committee members. So because it was so late, because I found out about it 2 days ago, I had to make sure that my presentation that I have up here on the left was edited to the way I like it, and then show it to my advisor and have him do a bunch of edits and rewrites and all this stuff. I will present this at right around noon today. I can't sleep, I'm kind of wired. But the presentation is to his liking, and I have some notes and papers here about the topic of my potential dissertation. It may be the fact that this is a wild goose chase, and we may have to abandon it if it leads nowhere, which is not uncommon. I know that, I don't know. I was going to say at least 2 people have done that I know of, but I actually don't really know. I don't follow their research that closely, but either way, the exam is today. I will try and get some sleep, although by the time that you've probably watched this video, the exam should be over. Typically, they only let you do this exam if they know you're going to pass. Like, your advisor sets the standards, he looks at what you've done, and he says, okay, you can present this. The fact that it's called an examination is a bit misleading. It's more of a presentation. And as long as he is satisfied with what is being presented, there's no reason that you fail the exam. And the only thing that you really have to worry about is don't say anything really stupid. If you say something incredibly stupid, like, if you say something incredibly stupid, then that'll give them a reason to fail you and make you do it again. I'm not entirely sure how many attempts you get at it, because it's one of those things that never comes up. And the committee typically wants you to pass. They're not really one to find reasons to ruin your life. We'll put it that way. But I'm reminded of this horror story about this one graduate student. I don't know who this grad student is. I believe she was in the program long before me. And I don't know about how long, maybe a couple years or so. But I never met her is the point I'm trying to make. And she gave a candidacy exam. So by the time you do candidacy, I should emphasize, you have already passed your qualifiers. You've taken a lot of these classes. You've done a little bit of research. Your advisor gives you the thumbs up to go ahead and present it. And during her candidacy exam, she made an interesting claim about asymptotics. So now this was told to me about a year ago, so I may have written this down wrong, but I'm 99% sure this is what was written. So at some point, this question came up during her candidacy, and she confidently said that this tends to 0. And if you look at this just for like a few seconds, you'll see that this is not true, because this is monotonically increasing and bounded below by 1. So how can it possibly tend to 0? And it's kind of easy to look at that and say, oh, what a dummy. But when I see this, I don't think that. I think that this smart woman who probably studied her butt off to pass that really, really tough qualifying exam was not in the right headspace, or was nervous, or something wasn't wired right that one day. And it made her to make an interesting claim that the committee members gasped. I can't speak. Gasped. Okay, whatever. They did not like what they see. And she did not pass her qualifying exam. So I've been thinking about this every time I think about the qualifying exam. Well, not every time, but more often than not. Well, I don't even know what I'm saying. This thought comes up a lot. You see how badly I speak when my mind's not in the right headspace? So you can understand some of my concerns. My advisor did look over my presentation yesterday, and he said that I was ready. So I should calm down, but saying one thing and doing it is those are two different things. Normally I'm a pretty confident person, but these are not like college students. These are seniored academics. So I don't know. Maybe I'll feel better after some sleep, because I've been working on my PowerPoint for quite some time. You know, my advisor's a hard person to please, but he just wants to make sure that everything is correct and that it makes sense to him and everyone else in the room. So I have to keep that in mind. I don't know what else I want to say. I guess I'll just wrap up here and show you that for these notes, I'll put this on the chalkboard and refer back to it. My advisor prefers chalkboard more than PowerPoint presentation. But I don't know. I felt like doing a PowerPoint. I didn't really want to rely on chalkboard that much. Maybe just to illustrate a point. So I've got this kind of weird hybrid between the two. And that, I guess, also has me a little bit scared that I'll be just running back and forth between the slides and the chalkboard. So I wish I was a little bit more confident with how exactly it was going to play out, which I don't think I have a whole lot of. Like the material, I'm 99% confident on. I'm a little bit scared if they ask me about this implicit function theorem that came up, which is why I have this notebook out, because he does talk about it here. Calc 3 trickery, almost. The details are in here somewhere, but I don't really have time to go into great detail here, because I'm supposed to give this presentation in 30 to 40 minutes. And if someone says, hey, can you explain to me the implicit function theorem? The answer to that, I want to just skip over it, because it's a lot to unpack, and it's not really the most important thing of what I want to present. But what does this mean for me if I do pass? So if I do pass, then, which I'm expected to, I will drop the 2 classes I'm registered for. I will sign up for the dissertation course, and I won't have to take any more classes after this, which means class taking will be finally over at almost 30 years old of age. And I will get to focus solely on my research, although I do teach still, which is fine. I taught today. By today, I mean yesterday. And I can tell that my teaching wasn't the greatest because I didn't really focus on the lesson so much. Yeah, I made the lesson like a week in advance, but I need to review it like before, and I was not focused on reviewing it. I had to make a ton of edits to my slideshow and send it to my advisor. But I'm sure I'm being a little bit hard on myself. I think the lesson was fine. But yeah, no more classes, just teach, just do research, and hopefully in 1 year's time I'll be done with everything. And if I'm really, really efficient and everything goes well and life is great, then we'll be done even sooner. We won't have to switch projects or something like that. And then we'll see what happens from there. If I don't pass, then I will most likely just... I'll be locked in for a semester because I can't change classes next week. So I'll do one more semester of classes and try and pass in the summer. That's really my only option. So hopefully that won't happen. Okay, I guess that's it for now. I will try and get some sleep and hopefully receive a miracle tomorrow.